and fellow feeling among yourselves, eschew any acts of treachery amongst yourselves, work for unity, welfare, and greatness of Nigeria. Unquote. 1963. Again, we had Chief Nnamdi Azikiwe say that we hope that you will do all in your power to work for the continued unity of Nigeria in a dialogue with Sir Ahmadu Bello. Let us forget our differences. And Sir Ahmadu Bello replied to him, let us understand our differences. By understanding our differences, we can build unity in our country. Our founding fathers have been speaking about Nigeria's unity for the longest. And today, the very distinguished Senator Yari has decided to push it further. More importantly, if you go to Google and you pick up something that AI tells you, it says local government matters in Nigeria because it is the closest tier of government to the people and is responsible for grassroots development, basic service delivery, and fostering local democracy. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, this is the time when we bring forward the visionary for the One Nigeria Project Nigeria, His Excellency, the very distinguished Senator Abdulaziz Yari Marafan Sokoto, to come forward and deliver his own speech. I've been so advised, distinguished, forgive our jumping the gun, but I've been advised by the organizers who have brought us all here together. The logistics team have asked me to announce the keynote speakers before you speak, so that we can have you as a highlight. Our first keynote speaker is Professor Yahaya T. Baba, Department of Political Science, Usman Mfodio University, Sokoto, and he will be speaking for 5 minutes, and he will be followed very closely by Chief Michael Kase, Ondo Kase, and former Attorney General and Minister of Justice. 10 minutes between the two of you before we get distinguished up to the podium.
Thank you so very much, Mrs. Eugenia Abu, for the introduction. My favorite broadcaster on NTA National Network. Years back. I'm so honored to be introduced by you. Let me first acknowledge our distinguished personalities, the former governors of Benue and Zamfara State, Samuel Otom and Mahmoud Ali Shinkafi, deputy governors of Zamfara State present here, the royal father of the day and the emir of Bali in Taraba State, most distinguished Senator Abdulaziz Abubakar Yari, who also represent to a very large extent this esteemed platform, and of course the project, One Nigeria Project. Abubakar Yari is also a grassroots politician, a former state chairman of his party ANPP in Zamfara State, former member House of Representatives, former governor of Zamfara State, former chairman Nigeria's Governors Forum, most distinguished senator representing Zamfara West, and indeed the Marafan Sokoto, a senior councillor in the Sultanate Council of the Sokoto Caliphate. Most people at national level do not seem to understand that Abdulaziz Abubakar Yari is also an Islamic scholar. Only some of us in Sokoto, Kebbi and Zamfara knows these important attributes of this renowned politician. He's not only a politician, he's not only a grassroots politician and philanthropist, he's also an Islamic scholar. We address him in our enclave as Shehi. So he actually symbolizes all the attributes that are needed to unify this country. So you are most welcome. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'm giving just a few minutes to speak on this important theme, One Nigeria Project. Let me say that the One Nigeria Project has been on the drawing board since the inception of this country, Nigeria. It even started way before independence. Our founding fathers had actually interacted among themselves, debated a lot about what Nigeria should be. And of course, they disagreed and agreed, and eventually Nigeria attained independence in 1960. Of course, we'll see in the literature statements famous attributed to a number of our founding fathers. The accident of 1914, Nigeria is a mistake. All of these are actually quoted out of context. Most of us in Nigeria assumed that Nigeria began and the people of Nigeria actually came together only when the British colonizers came. That is highly untrue. Nigeria and Nigerians, the name Nigeria must not have been given and uttered, but Nigerians as communities, as people, as cultural groups, have had linkages, exchanges, transactions, and relations, complex relations between and among themselves, across divides, from the northern part of the country down to the south. Within the northern part of the country, we have had different platforms, even before colonial intrusion, even before the Islamic movement in 19th century, in the early 1804, we have had the Kebbi Kingdom, the Zamfara Kingdom, the Katsina Kingdom, the Kano Dynasty, the Jukun Empire, Nupe Kingdom. All of these kingdoms pre-existed and interacted with one another very closely and established relations, close relations, that reflects today federating units in some parts of the world. Trade had also connected the southern and the northern parts of this country together. Trade routes, we have had history of migrants and settlements of different communities across different parts of this country who traced their history even before the coming of the colonial people. In fact, the historical account of those complex relations, historical relations that existed between and among different people in Nigeria, was what influenced the colonialists to deem it fit to create an entity called Nigeria, though for their convenience, colonial administrative convenience. But the historical antecedents of the generality of communities that formed Nigeria set the pace, cleared the ground, and created the opportunity for the British colonialists to create first the Southern Protectorate that actually united different groups of people who belonged, for instance, after the conquest of Lagos in 1861, the Southern Protectorate, the Bight of Benin and Biafra, stateless communities in the east and in the present-day south of Nigeria were unified as Southern Protectorate. It was much more easier in northern Nigeria because of the Caliphate. And that Caliphate actually provided a platform for the British colonialists to have one unified political entity that was governed indirectly. Of course, it was difficult for the indirect rule system to be introduced because of near absence of traditional political hierarchy in the authority that governed those enclaves and communities in southern parts of Nigeria. In the Igbo communities, we have had stateless-like societies and communities that were democratically governed by councils of elders, different communities, but of course, culturally united. The same also applies in the minority groups in the South, the Ijos, the Shekri, the Urobos, the Idos. The Edo was also a famous kingdom in Africa that has one of the richest cultural heritage that today, years back, we had to take, we have to receive some of the stolen artifacts from the Benin Kingdom, from Germany and from England, showcasing the rich cultural heritage that actually existed in that enclave. The Old Oyo Empire was indeed famous. Of course, it did collapse before colonial intrusion. But the Oyo Empire also exemplified one of the most complex, robust, and somewhat democratic political system that the pre-colonial African societies take pride with. The check and balances, the separation of powers today we are practicing in presidential democracy had already existed in the Old Oyo Empire. The Alaafin of Oyo, the Alaafin of Oyo, who was, by tradition, the head of state and of course, the head of state, the Basharun, who was the prime minister, the OMSA that constituted the legislative council, the Areonaka Kamfo, who is the commander-in-chief of the armed forces, chief of army staff, if you call it, powers of the Alaafin as overall political, economic, spiritual, and cultural leader of Old Oyo Empire were checked to the point that if he contravenes the existing traditions, laws, and regulations of the empire, he pays the supreme price. And the Are Onaka Kamfo supervised him committing suicide. That was how democratic this enclave was. We are not going to talk much about how fashionable the British met the Sokoto Caliphate, how hierarchically organized it was, how efficient it was, how it was down to earth in terms of bottom-up and top-down approaches to governance. That explains why they spared the system, the institutions, the structures, and part even of the laws to save cost of running and to also achieve obedience and compliance. We also knew that Nigerians stood up and fought, even before the colonialists, the nationalists, stood up and fought, not only for unity, but for dignity of the Nigerian people. The famous Aba Women Riot was a classical show of example of the resolve of the African people to resist oppressions of all kinds. Remember, the indirect rule system failed in the Southeast, harsh taxations were imposed, men were overwhelmed, and colonial policies, harsh as they were, do not permit any form of revolt, particularly by the men. And women who bear the brunt of those harsh taxation organize themselves, rose to the occasion, and actually step up to say no to taxation. That was famous in our history. When we talk about diversity, Nigeria is diversely the most complex and yet evolving nation on the surface of the earth. The most populous black nation, a rising power. At independence, the European powers, Americans, developed nations were quite on ease when Abubakar Tafawa Balewa delivered his first speech at the head of the Nigerian government at the United Nations Organization. Such speeches were very striking to show a rising power from Africa. A power that is to compete, that was structured and stationed to compete with the world. Nigeria's resolve to fight for the liberation of countries that were still under the vestiges of colonial rule, even earning membership of frontline states in the southern part of Africa, committing resources to ensuring that our brothers are actually free from all kinds of foreign rule. Shows just how powerful the country Nigeria was. And since that time, there was a strategy in that part of the world on how to destabilize this nation. And diversity, which ought to be a source of strength for this nation, was taken by enemies and foes of this country to ensure that the country is destabilized. I will mention very briefly to say that all factors that have combined to actually cast doubt about the future of Nigeria as one entity. There is one formidable factor that, if it is addressed, I am truly sure that Nigeria will go a very long way in unifying itself and continuing to carry the flag of Africa and even developing world. This nation is only divided amongst the elites, not the people. Apparent lack of consensus among Nigerian elites is the underlying cause of deep divisions within the Nigerian state. This lack of consensus among Nigerian elites is what causes religious riot, ethnic tension, tribal unease, and different kinds of conflicts that are ravaging the society, Nigeria today. All nations have future, have projects. And these projects that actually galvanize the future of every country is usually crafted by the elites. Regardless of party divides, regardless of orientation, elites must be on one page, all together, about what constitutes Nigeria and what the future of Nigeria should be. Just like Americans are divided along Republicans and Democrats, fiercely divided during the elections when you see them. But America is first in their mind. Regardless of who wins election, America still remains the same. This is what we should copy as Nigerian elites. If the Nigerian elites are united amongst themselves and become strong believers in Nigeria and Nigerian project, believe me, this country will have the best of the future. And this country will not only be among the 20 top economies of the world, but in the nearest future, this country will be among 10 top economies of the world. So, the Nalgon, there's no better time, no fascinating, no promising time to start this project than now, and by a platform like Nalgon. Nalgon is a grassroots platform that assembles grassroots politicians who are connected to communities, who are also elites in their own rights. This platform can go a very long way in creating the synergy that is actually expected of the Nigerian elite to think about Nigeria, to breathe Nigeria, and to actually fight for the cause of Nigeria. I am being whispered, but I have a lot to say about what diversity is and how unity is achieved within diversity. Diversity in Nigeria is in many respects. And Nigeria is one of the fewest countries on the surface of the earth that is diverse in the way it is. Geographically, Nigeria is diverse. 6 different vegetational belts. Sahel savanna, Sudan savanna, Guinea savanna, tropical rainforest, mangrove swamp area, freshwater swamp area. These are complex vegetational belts that creates opportunities for the country and the people of Nigeria to produce, that is agriculturally, a variety of agricultural products and to habitate under different vegetation. In those days, you see people, when the train service in Nigeria was on, Every time, around this time in December, you see people flying, traveling from north to south to enjoy the vegetation in the south, and for southerners to come to the north to enjoy the vegetation in the north. And that had created huge mutual understanding amongst ourselves. Of course, we fought the very bitter civil war, 30 months brutal civil war, but we organized ourselves back. We actually introduced programs, national programs, that reconciled the Nigerians, that also put on board unity agenda, like the National Youth Service Corps, which is actually doing a lot to introduce the Nigerian youths to different parts of the country. Economically, we also diverse in that regions across Nigeria are actually, better situated for different kinds of economic activities. Agriculture, in terms of farming, in terms of variety of crops, in terms of livestock development, in terms of, mining, in terms of deposits of mineral resources. All of these combine Nigeria's strengths. Politically, we are coming from very robust and complex backgrounds, but we have been knitted together as one people. That is the fear people outside of this country are entertaining. Within Africa, Nigeria did quite a lot. My favorite broadcaster is actually signaling to the time. Ladies and gentlemen, let me conclude to say that this is quite fascinating. This is promising. This is encouraging. The future lies ahead. Nalgon is to be commended. The One Nigeria project is here, and it will continue. The chairman of the One Nigeria project symbolizes all the unity Nigeria is actually desiring for. And we pray that this project will be on, this project will continue, this project will knit the diverse people of Nigeria together. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much for this unique opportunity.
Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I would have stood up much earlier. I'm a teacher, and I would have been standing there much earlier. But the visionary of this project and the chairman, One Nigeria, the very distinguished Senator Yari, was listening with rapt attention to this professor and his dynamics concerning how Nigeria is diverse and yet a very, very strong nation with a special, diverse style that is different from other nations. And he says that it is elite consensus that we need to push forward, because Nigeria is not divided in the communities, we're just divided amongst the elite. The fact that the very distinguished Senator Yari was listening with rapt attention cut him some slack. And while he was on the podium, he spoke, of course, as the professor that he is, with much knowledge about Nigeria, and talked about the various diverse spaces that we have, from economic to agriculture to ethnic, and says Nigeria is a very unique country with those kinds of diverse natures. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, beyond our historical antecedents, the very good professor spoke about how to strengthen ourselves, one each for one, and together we can do better. Professor Yaya T. Baba, Professor of Political Constitution and Comparative Politics, has shown that he did indeed earn his stripes. Department of Political Science, Uthman Danfodio University, Sokoto, we congratulate you. You have spoken so well and energized us for this One Nigeria project, and we're truly proud of you. Up next to speak is the former Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Chief Michael Kasi Ondoka, SAN.
Your Excellencies, Honorable Chairman, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the introduction was well delivered by one of the greatest professors I've seen from my part of the country, the northern part of the country. And then the resources and the delivery of his lecture up-ahead is amazing to make people recognize the fact that in every part of the country, we have people, and we have people who can deliver, and it is better for us to work together. I am not surprised. My brief interaction with the convener of this is a senator, a governor, a lover of Nigeria, and a lover of people. He takes people in without minding religion, which is known the dividing factor. He takes people in without minding the tribe, and he takes people in. It's amazing. He was in the race of the Senate. I went to his place, and everybody I saw was from the South. I didn't see my brothers. The language was English. So you could see his vision. It only takes a wise man to know where the problem can be solved. The problem can be solved by people who have been close to the grassroots. If you ask all senators to be here, they will be here because he's a man who commands respect. If I invited governors to come here, let us solve one Nigerian project, all of them will be here. He went to you. He went to the local government chairman. Since 1999 to date, you can imagine his target is to reach the most interior part of Nigeria and preach unity and preach one Nigeria. You see, if you see people all over the world have overgrown religion. This problem existed in UK, London, Great Britain, when you have Gary Adams on the basis of Christianity. In that it was Protestant and Catholics started bombing everywhere in UK. They themselves realized that it will not solve the problem. A younger group of leadership came in Champagne. Retired Gary Adams, who was hardened, and made sure that United Kingdom remains one of the greatest kingdoms in the world and the only surviving kingdom. Nobody is talking of Catholics and Protestants. Nobody is doing the marching. It was crazy. People will just march on the street, and a Protestant will say, I do not want to see a Catholic march in front of my house. Fight will come, and the next thing, the whole of United Kingdom was bombed. Now, I have lived. I was appointed a minister by a Fulani man. I was most close to him than any other person. I don't know how to speak Hausa, but we related. He only saw something in me he could use. Now, the professor have laid it all. People are using religion. We have lived together. We have stayed together. I was even thinking that the professor will tell you Ahmadu Bello had a cook who was an Igbo man. But we didn't give him time. He would have delivered and said, Sir, Ahmadu Bello's cook was an Igbo man and a Christian. This is the wisdom of people at the beginning, the founding fathers of this great nation. Now, distinguished Senator Yari, and people, His Excellency, they see that something is going wrong in this country. People who support to solve this problem are neglected. And who are the people? The local government chairman, past and present. You can't do security without taking people who are close to the people who are suffering. You can't do security if you don't provide money to the local government chairman. The president has done his bit. He realized this point, and my successor, Chief Fagbemi, saw this point, went to court and said, look, the previous governors realized this. The time Senator Yari Oton were governor, we did not have this problem to this level because chairmen have reasonable access to their resources. Now, what is happening now is a bit confusing. You talk of problems. Crises that are not happening in the cities, but are happening in the local government, in the wards. There are people who are relevant in that world. Nobody has ever called them for a conference or a meeting or a discussion. Somebody who was elected a chairman must at least have followers. And multiple chairmen in what local government we have thousands of followers that can solve this problem of insecurity by mere persuasion of the farmers. But we neglect them. A proud son of Nigeria, a proud distinguished senator, has opened the eyes of Nigerians that the people who can solve this problem are the people sitting here. He has brought it. It's not for personal gain. He has brought 774 local government chairmen here who will interact with 800 and something local government councillors. And if you multiply over the years by succession, you can see the army that is ready to fight the insurgent by talking to the people, by making them realize that greatness of this country relies in our unity. It is amazing. Nigerians go to solve problem of disunity in Liberia and Sierra Leone. Is it not a great shame that Nigerians cannot solve their problem and we expect somebody to come from somewhere and solve the problem? We need to give Mr. President support. We need to talk. The roadmap has been set here today. People who are in government, even if they don't listen, they are watching everything live. Senator Yari has shown them where they can go and meet and solve this problem. It's a pure dialogue issue. It's not a matter of saying one religion is dominating over another religion. The people in the villages, as distinguished professor said, do not know the religion. They are the most hospitable people. I was going to Plateau. My car broke down. I had money in the car. I passed near the forest. It was a Muslim. I pushed the car to his house. When I came, I was shocked that the man slept next to that car, did not sleep in his house. And you can see how cold Jos is. I didn't speak Hausa to him. He expressed my difficulties. It was when I finished and gave him appreciation, he was also refusing. If you could see, this is the kind of Nigeria we are yearning for. And this is the kind of Nigeria the Constitution has envisaged to create a third arm, the third tier of government. The framers of the constitutions are not foolish. And the senator who is well read and he knew that the Constitution of Nigeria, which creates local government, needs to be followed. And if he is a Christian, I will say he is John the Baptist. John the Baptist is singing the praise of solution. And then Jesus came Jesus was also a prophet in Islam. And after Jesus, Muhammad came to preach unity. Nobody deceive you. If we follow where they're going, we will have bigger problems. The world should assist us solve this problem internally. Allow these people to continue to roll out this program, and government should also support this organization to roll this program to the grassroots. I talk to the people. Today, I will respect Senator Yari more and more. And I want to, not now, not now, after Tinubu count me and Oton with you. Thank you very much. My colleague spoke everything I could speak, and I donated my time to. But let me appreciate one person who has refused to age. As a young boy in St. Gabriel, I was admired. I said, why is she doing broadcasting? There's supposed to be a model in Paris. Look at her still shining. Our summaries are more than keynote address. So I will leave it, let her summarize and give her the spice of this speech I have said so that you can get it rich. Let's also thank the emir, become a son of a chief. And recently, through my association with Otom and others, I have been made a chief. I've been given a traditional title. It will be celebrated on the 13th, which I will officially tell Senator Yari that this is the honor that has been. These are the things we are supposed to do. So I'm also telling you that I have been made a chief. Let us be attending ceremonies. Let us be attending occasions. The governors lock themselves up and will say, these people are not welcoming. Have you visited them? Go and visit them, intermarry, and do things. All these crises will finish. The issue is envy. Envy and promotion of the allies, dividing us, setting us up. But one of the allies is saying no. So we must all follow him. And I also, let me especially thank the two former governors who have followed Senator Yari here. People do not see. If they see like me, everybody should have been in this hall. Thank you and God bless you. I thank my colleague, the chairman. I'm not opening another speech. I went for a bar conference. I was heavily attacked that they don't know me. Where did I become Attorney General? This young man organized colleagues. I don't know where he got them. And I became the shining star that the organizers have to apologize to me. I thank you very much. Today you still remembered me and called me. I was wondering what happened. He told me, I'm your admirer. I'm also your admirer. Thank you. Thank you and God bless you all.
So Tom, well done. I'm always enamored of the former Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Chief Kasi Ondoka, who has now been given a chieftaincy title. He says he now respects the visionary, the very distinguished Senator Yari, more because he has gathered all of us together as a problem solver and a solution-driven individual to see how those who are closest to the people in the grassroots can solve the problem that we're having, challenges of insecurity and togetherness and relationship building. And he has said it is critical that that should be done and the time starts now. One Nigeria project, unity begins at the grassroots. Let's give a warm Abuja round of applause to Chief Ondoka. Thank you very much for your intervention. I'd like to announce that a car, FRK 837AA Camry ash color, is blocking someone for the longest. One more time, FRK 837AA Camry ash color. If that is your car, please help us to remove it in order for the person who you have locked in to be able to go. Your Excellencies, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to quickly recognize His Excellency Ambassador Husseini Moriki, former ambassador to Japan, and Honorable Mohammed Gololo, former representative from Bauchi. We also have Professor A.C.B. Agbazwere, Professor of Law, former Executive Chairman, Ishialangwa South Local Government of Abia State, and former Chief of Staff to Abia State Governor Dr. Okezie Victor Ikpeazu. I would like very quickly to recognize Professor John Inyi of Old Oju Local Government Area, who is a family friend of ours. Your Excellencies, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we're now beginning to roll out what we have on our list of goodwill messages. But before we do that, let me take a quick quote. Quote, "The future of this vast country must depend in the main on efforts of ourselves to help ourselves. This we cannot do if we do not work together in unity." 1957, first speech of Sir Abubakar Tafawa Balewa as Prime Minister. Unity is our greatest concern, and it is the duty of every one of us to work so we may strengthen it. Unquote. Our founding fathers understood that if you are not united, if a broom is not together, it cannot sweep. We know that if a broom stands alone, one, it cannot gather together and sweep. This is the time to remember the power of identity. And the World Bank says in 2050, Nigeria will be the third most populous nation in the world after India and China. And what that means is that when we are together, we are a more powerful force in the region. And because every single part of Africa has felt us, again, like you heard the good professor say, we were amongst the frontline states, given to us because we supported South Africa. I have several classmates who came to ABU Zaria because Nigeria decided to train South African blacks, bring them into Nigeria, put them in school, and pay their school fees as part of the support. And we have the ones who have provided that very powerful group called ECOMOG. And when I was visiting Sierra Leone, and the Nigerian vehicle from the embassy was going past, carrying me in it, all those in Sierra Leone were hailing, ECOMOG, ECOMOG. I'm talking about 2 years, 3 years ago. And I couldn't feel any prouder. I felt very, very tall, because here is my nation, has intervened in another country to bring peace. Nigeria is truly a great nation. Believe it or not, whatever you say does not matter to me. Nigeria is a great nation. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we now bring forward the Board of Trustees Chairman for Algon, who will come forward and now deliver his own goodwill message. And after that, we're going to be calling on Honorable Minister, former Minister Orubebe, to come forward, and we'll ask our esteemed traditional ruler to also speak to us. But first, we'll start with the BOT Chair of Algon. Thank you, sir. Two minutes for every person making an intervention. Please give a resounding round of applause to Honorable Odunayo Ategbero, BOT Algon Chair. Welcome, sir.
Your Excellencies, the former governors here present, my dear colleagues, former elected local government chairmen across the country, kindly permit me to stand on the already established protocol. Let me start by congratulating the organizers of this very important event that has brought together all the former elected chairmen in Nigeria to deliberate on the way forward as part of ensuring that the grassroots is developed in the country we call our own, Nigeria. I must also congratulate and acknowledge our own distinguished senator, Senator Yari, who is the pillar behind the One Nigerian project. We appreciate you, sir. We all know that for this country to develop, there must be a functional local government system. This is the reason why we need to appreciate and thank the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, for having deep interest in a sustainable local government system in Nigeria. It was as a result of this that there was a judgment on the 11th of July 2024 delivered by the Supreme Court granting financial autonomy for local government system in Nigeria. But quite unfortunately, that judgment Now, that was the reason why that judgment was delivered, but unfortunately, we have not been able to implement that judgment. I want to be heard by the whole country. So I will have to suspend it. You will all agree with me that this is one of the reasons why we need local government autonomy. Because if we have a functional local government, we will have our own power generation that will not fail us. So, like I was saying, the implementation is facing a lot of challenges, but I would think that very soon, trusting in the leadership of the chairman of that committee, the Secretary of the Government of the Federation, that particular judgment will be implemented to letters, and we will all enjoy local government autonomy. The reason why we desire local government autonomy in this country is that development has to start from the grassroots. It should be a bottom-top approach for us to be able to ensure that we give the best of governance to the people at the grassroots, because 80% of our people in this country reside at the local government level. There are a lot of things that local government has to do which can be done properly and effectively if local government autonomy is guaranteed. We are talking of insecurity in this country. All the criminals, all the terrorists, all the bandits, kidnappers and so on, they reside in our communities. They reside in our local government. If local government is given autonomy, we will have opportunity to challenge and combat all this insecurity. We will have the opportunity to gather intelligence for the law enforcement agents to act fast on all these criminalities and other vices. So I want to believe that for this one Nigeria project to be driven properly, we need and we desire local government autonomy. And I want to appreciate all of us, including our leaders who have been elected local government chairmen. We have done our best to ensure that the grassroots development becomes a priority in the minds of our people, because it is for the overall development of the greatest masses of the people in this country. I want to urge all of us, as critical stakeholders in local government autonomy, because we believe so, that is where socio-political economy development can start. I want to urge all of us to continue to cooperate with this government, this very government of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, to ensure that local government autonomy is given to us so that we can drive a very, very transparent and fundamental economic growth that will transform the lives of the people of this country. Because we desire good welfare packages, well-being for the people of our people at the grassroots level. A lot of people don't need to go to the governor at the state level if local government is functioning very well, because all the things that are to be provided will be provided by, the practitioners at the local government. And we have capable hands. We have people that have the interests of the people at the grassroots in their mind, that can deliver to the benefits of our people, to lift them up from all this squalor, abject poverty that is bedeviling our people at the grassroots level. So I want to thank all of you once again, and urge all of us to ensure that we do our best to ensure that we support the present government to achieve local government autonomy in the best interest of this country. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you very much. Honorable Odunayo Atekberu, BOT Algon chairman, not Nalgon, Algon. Some people have been asking me. So the Nalgon BOT chair, we know who that is. He's at the Federal Executive Council. He's not here at the moment because he's attending to state matters. But we know that is the SGF, that is the BOT chair of Nalgon. He's not here. This is the BOT chairman of Algon, serving Honorable Odunayo Atekberu. We thank you very much. So that we do not become talking heads, and also for us to showcase our culture, I'd ask our next goodwill speaker, the Honorable Minister Orubebe, former minister, to hold his fire while we invite very quickly the Kogi State Cultural Troupe to perform before we take the remaining 3 goodwill messages. The Kogi State Cultural Troupe should please make their way back and perform for us. And immediately after them, we will have the former Honorable Minister Orubebe to speak to us in a 2-minute goodwill message. This is important for us to refresh ourselves before we hear more messages. Thank you very much.
Okoro
The Kogi Cultural Troupe performing to lighten our mood a little bit as we prepare to carry on carrying the flag of One Nigeria project. Our unity non-negotiable. Unity begins at the grassroots. United voices, a new Nigeria. Your Excellencies, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, permit me to bring up to the podium now the former Minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Chief Orubebe. Chief Orubebe, you have the floor, sir. Please encourage him. It's a long walk. It's a long walk. Please be mindful of the fact that for want of time, every goodwill message will be 2 minutes. Thank you very much.
Your Excellency, Senator Yari, I want to appreciate you for laying this beautiful foundation for the new era of Nigeria. I want to also appreciate our chairman for standing there for the people of this country. 32 years ago, our chairman of my local government, and I built a number of health centers, one in my community. Up till today, that health center is doing very well. And I support that health center from time to time. In 2005, I was the advisor to Governor James Tibori on urban and regional planning. I went to Denmark for an urban forum. And I realized that in Denmark, the jobs, the activities that are being done by the local governments were wonderful. In Denmark, in every radio station, they'll be announcing some telephone numbers. If you are going to your office and you see some cracks in the road, you see something that you want government to intervene, you call those numbers. By the time you are back, those places are fixed. The only way Nigeria can develop is for us to go back to the local government system. And I want to use this forum, this opportunity, to advocate for more funding for local governments. More funding for local governments. If local governments, the 774 local governments are funded very well, I can tell you that development will be swift in this country. I can tell you that the security issues we are talking about in this country will be addressed. I can tell you about the unity, bringing people together. When we were local government chairman, there were so many people that were not going to the states. And that is what we should do. Government, I know that is the reason why the current president, in the days when he was governor of Lagos State, created many local governments. Because he knew that what was needed for the development of Lagos State was creation of more local governments. And he did that. Till today we speak, those local governments are there. We have to collectively come together to appeal to the government to create a new revenue allocation where more funding will be given to the local governments. Once more funding is given, you can see the wonders that we are going to have. And so, Mr. Chairman, my appeal is that we must organize and produce a paper that will talk about increase of funding for local governments, so that local governments, can do what they are supposed to do. Over the years of recent, Most times you see that local governments are doing nothing. And that is why there is insecurity everywhere. Local governments are barely paying salaries, and that cannot take us to anywhere. That cannot take us to anywhere. More funding is needed. More funding. Andoka, my colleague, we're in the Federal Executive Council together. I think that you should also assist, discuss with Yari, and let's put up a paper requesting the Federal Allocation Committee, to increase the funds of local governments. Local government should not be seen to be just paying salaries and doing, small running cost activities. Local governments must do projects, tangible projects. In our time, we were doing projects. But these days, you hardly see local government doing projects. Very few local government doing projects. And that is not helping Nigeria. Today, we are saddled with the issues of insecurity. These are issues that can be resolved within local governments. Local governments can handle, these issues, and we don't need the state governments to even come into this. State governments can only come in to assist local government. So I crave for more funding for local governments, and once we have serious funding in local government, you can see people with ideas. People who even ordinarily will want to become governor will want to go back to the local government, to be local government chairman, and give us the best that we think of the local government. So once again, I want to appreciate the organizers of this forum. When I was coming in, I met some of them and I said, this is a very good platform, and development is grassroots. And once you have these people as a team, then you have gotten a team, a platform that can make Nigeria great. So all of us collectively, I call upon all of us to support this group and work towards ensuring that this group becomes the foundation for the new Nigeria we are craving for. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Former Honorable Minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Chief Orubebe, has spoken well and encouraged everybody, including government, to support this project. I'd like, without further ado, to invite to the podium His Royal Highness Alhaji Abubakar Mahmoud Adamu, Kurjibubali, Taraba State, one-time Algon Chairman, Taraba State, and National Vice Chair, Algon Chairman, to the current Honorable Minister of the FCT, His Excellency Nyesom Wike. Like I mentioned much earlier, all our goodwill messages are 2 minutes so that we can stay within time for the channels that are covering us live.
In the name of Allah, the most beneficent, the most merciful, we thank the Almighty Allah, who is the spring owner of earth, heaven, and the entire universe. We thank the Almighty Allah, who is one. We depend on Him for help. He is neither begot nor begotten, and there is no comparables for Him. We thank Him for He has granted an accident-free journey to each and every one of us to Abuja for the official flag of Nalgon Emeritus, One Nigeria projects. I stand on the existing protocol as already been established. we want to look at is Nalgon Emeritus One Nigeria project. Is it a project? Let's go and see the definition of projects. According to one of our philosophers, I quote J.S. Farrant. He says, whatever he or she want to do with a given aims and objective is a project. So when we go by this definition, therefore, this can be called a project because it has 4 constraints. 1, we propose what to do. We have planning. We have execution. And the last one is evaluation. So to me, without wasting our time, I thank the organizers of this for bringing these projects. These projects contains unity, development, progress, to mention but only few. To me, the projects has been well planned, and today we are executing that projects. I pray in the names of the holy books, holy prophets, that may God help us at the end of this, the evaluation will be excellency. Ladies and gentlemen, I wish you an accident-free journey after these projects back to our destination. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. His Royal Highness Alhaji Abubakar Mahmood Adamu Kojibu Bali, Taraba State, one-time Algon Chairman, Taraba State, National Vice Chair, Algon Chairman, to the FCT Minister, His Excellency Nyesom Wike. His Royal Highness has spoken and has also blessed us with an accident-free journey back to our destinations. He says this is a really good project and he congratulates the organizers. Your Royal Highness, sir, we thank you. We thank you. A round of applause for him again. Your Excellencies, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please permit me to quickly recognize Professor Osiju Medina Al-Mustafa, Chief of Staff to the Honorable Minister of Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs. We thank you for joining us here. We appreciate you. Time now to quickly invite the former governor of Benue State, His Excellency Chief Otom, to come and deliver his own goodwill. And after that, we'll get the big elephant in the room to speak, and we'll stay within time of those who are covering us live across Nigeria. Encourage His Excellency, it's a long walk.
Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me appreciate our very distinguished and excellency and very distinguished Senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and Chairman of NAGON, and to thank him for making this occasion possible, for facilitating and ensuring that we, who were former local government chairmen in Nigeria, I also recognize. This is a great feat, and we appreciate you, our chairman, and may God continue to bless you. For those of you who are not aware, I'm having a double portion because this is also my chairman Governors Forum when I was governor. So the man will continue to be chairman of this, chairman of that, chairman of that, until he gets to the peak of it. We appreciate you, sir. With him sitting down, and as a BOT member of NAGON, may I enjoy all of you, not just appreciating him with a clap of hands, but shall we give him, with him sitting, a standing ovation. With a clap of hands for our very distinguished senator. Mr. Chairman, thank you very much, and God bless you. I will not repeat what our guest speaker have said. Our two guest speakers, they have captured what we stand for. And we are grateful to them, and we pray that Nigerians will also accept this and appreciate the fact that local government remains the starting point for any development. If we have to secure our land, it has to be from the local government. If we have to bring development, it has to be from the local government. If we have to do agriculture or industry or anything that will add value to the development of a country, it has to be from the local government. And we appreciate this. Our chairman is a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and I want to also commend him for supporting Mr. President to ensure that there is local government, not just by theory or by principle, but by practicals. And that is why Mr. President took the initiative to ensure the autonomy of the local government. And as far as I'm concerned, the Supreme Court ruled that there should be autonomy for local government. And as far as I'm concerned, the federal government have consistently remitted monies to local government, enough to effect development. I want to appeal to our governors, 36 governors, to ensure that this money gets to the local government so that there will be effective development. I look forward that there will be synergy between the past local government chairman and even the current local government chairman, so that we come together and be working together as a team, because we stand for the same purpose. So, our governors should do the needful and ensure that monies that come to local government are remitted to local government. When I was governor, that was what we did. Every money that came to local government in my own state went to the local government. Even when I had interest and needed to do something with someone, I had to appeal to the local government. So I believe that we shall get there. All the challenges that we have today in Nigeria, this is what NAGON stands for. We need to be united. We need to work together. We need to ensure that there is unity in diversity. We need to bring everybody together to ensure that there is development, progress, and equity for our country. What we need to do is to ensure that there is equity, fairness, and justice in all that we do. If we apply that, because democracy itself, as we're practicing, is anchored on the rule of law. And we must ensure this is done. For lack of time, I will stop here But we take little time to also appreciate our own, the international MC. Those of you who do not know, this lady is a product of Benue State. And we're proud of her. Thank you very much, Regina Abu. We remain grateful to God Almighty for what you are doing for our country. God bless you.
Excellency, former governor of Benue State, has said there needs to be synergy between the current local government chairman and the Nalgon emeritus in order to surge forward. He has also appealed to governors, himself being a governor, a former governor, and also to the local government chairman, serving and former, to come together to form a very powerful force. And he has closed it by saying, indeed, as Professor Haye, former minister in Nigeria, calls me, I'm a Makudi girl. My career started at NTA Makudi. So it's very nice to see you, Your Excellency. Thank you very much for your compliments. I appreciate it. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I want us to give a resounding clap to the National Chairman, Nalgon, Honorable Barrister Shaba Ibrahim, who has tied the knots and loose ends when distinguished Senator Yari, Chairman One Nigeria Project, brought this on board. He ran with it, and all of us are here today as a result. This is the time for me to invite to the podium the man who has visioned this project to bring Nigeria together as one unit, One Nigeria project chair. Let us give a warm welcome to the One Nigeria project chair, His Excellency Senator Abdul Aziz Yari Marafan Sakwato. Your Excellency, this is your time to make your way to the podium and address us for the purpose for which we are all gathered. Everybody is rising to salute you as the man who has decided that Nigeria is a force to be reckoned with and should be in the forefront of the One Nigeria project. Your Excellency, sir.
Please have a seat. Thank you very much, Engineer Abu. Your Excellencies, former governors here, ministers, your Royal Father today, National Assembly, local government chairman, and former chairman, local government, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. I did not forget about the Chairman Nalgon and his escort, but I want to do bottom top. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I wrote some speech that I wanted to read, but in a situation whereby you have a professor and SAN already on the podium. So when the professor is bringing all what he has before us today, I thought maybe we shared what I'm going to do with him. So I did not take any paper. But I will add to what he mentioned, one of it, because all what is needed to be said to Nigeria has been said in this place. The only what is remaining for us to be in action. I'll share some of my experience to the world leaders on our diversity. As Nigeria, I had the opportunity to sit down with Modi, a Prime Minister of India, sometimes in 2024 on G20 program. When we told him that Nigeria is about 280 ethnic language in Nigeria, he said he has over 900 in India. And every blessed day, there's a newspaper, 780 newspaper, different language, coming out and published, printed, sold in the market for Indians. But their ethnicity, their diversity, did not stop them to love their country and move their country forward. So the question of Nigeria, why are we different? Is it from the people? Professor answered, the answer is no. From the politician? Partially, yes. From the elite? Correct. So elite, what is the problem? You don't love the country, Nigeria? Do you have any other country to run if Nigeria get collapsed? So now we should not allow our people down the grassroots to understand we are the problem of Nigeria. If they do that, then we are going to be in problem because they can count us in their fingertip. 300 million Nigerians, elite maybe 2 million. And they know where we live, each and every one of us. So many times we have been telling ourselves that we are sitting on top of time bomb. This time bomb is our question to come together to move the country forward. All what is problem in this country can be resolved within no time if we are ready to do so. When Mr. President started thinking of local government autonomy, many people look at it that no, it's not possible. So many legislation has been passed without it. But you go through the other way around. Go to the apex court of the nation, which their own is only about the books, it's about the policy making. They went and do what is right for the country, for the time. Therefore, all issues around Nigeria can be resolved if we are determined to resolve it as a leaders. I believe in that. But the issue of our self-sentence, to some extent, could not allow that. But what is the benefit of that self-sentence? From where do you inherit it? From our forefathers? No. Where? How? Is the question that we ask ourselves, find the answer for a better Nigeria. This country is high time for us to come together, to remain together, to ensure that we put the country first. My brother SAN said, there are a huge gap in America, not only in the Democrat and Republican, even within themselves. As you look at us here, we're having the kingdom, they have it in those days. But they agreed to come and form the United States of America for the betterment of Americans. In the Constitution of America today, there are states who are giving the latitude. If they want to exit today, they are free to go. But despite all on this understanding, Europe take up economy and what have you, they decide to remain together as one America for the better of Americans. Why not Nigeria? We remain together not for the benefit of ourselves, but for the benefit of Nigeria and Nigerians. Those that trusted us and give us their life to manage. This gathering, I can say it is one of the answers. Let me share a story with you. Sometimes in 2000, I was invited by my governor then that I think he suggested to me that we need someone like you and others to be local government chairman. I said, okay. Is that your decision? He said, no, I'm just seeking for your... I said, no, if it's a decision of you, then no problem. But if I give you opportunity to talk, then I'll tell you no. But when I said no, you need to ask, he said, why? I said, to me, I have been following the terrain of local government since 1986. When akwai abun da ake cewa kai da halinka, that's initiated by Babangida. I've been following what is the problem. The problem is, to my understanding as at that time, is a government closer to people without funding protocol and security. I cannot be there. Government, underline this one, government closer to people, they are supposed to have enough funding. Government closer to people, they are supposed to have a protocol. Government closer to people, they are supposed to be a security. But in the local government, where I came from, my experience, I don't even know whether it still exists that way, how local government chairman work, where I came from. Because at that time, any other person that is VIP important can walk in. And I don't even know how policy were made there, some laws are passed, how they do the administration of the local government at that time. So that would discourage me from being there. Which, if we want things to be equal or excellent, to tackle all this mess we are in today, we have to pull back there and correct it. Because there was a time when it's not a democratically formed government, sole administrator. Many people don't need to go to, then we are former Sokoto state. KB was there, Zamfara was there, Sokoto itself was there. As one state, with I think 19 sole administrators. But many people that are big men in the local government, they don't need to go to apply to Sokoto before they do their business. They did their business in local government and they are satisfied. Why not today? Where things are even more buoyant, more pulse in the economy, more initiative. So we need to think on how we are going to correct these issues so that we can have a better Nigeria. When we come to our diversity, we need to take it uniform. Religion, I know many people, they are sitting down, hiding under the religion just to think they can score a card. But it's not possible. If you look at the riot happening in Zangon, Katab, and everywhere, it doesn't solve the problem. It's political, deliberate. One that happened in 2000 because of Dr. Sharia is political. People are looking at how they are going to make issue out of issues. So they hide on the religion, they hide on the ethnicity, they hide on everything to cause issues that will draw us back. But I have conviction. This country called Nigeria, America says the country, their own country is God's own country. This country, Nigeria, is more God's own country than any other country. Because so many havoc initiated by we ourselves, but God that loved the country saved the country from collapsing. Rather, it will be more strengthened and become together. So many things on ground happen. Even from 1999, so many issues happen, but the country remained. Before 1999, so many issues come up, but the country remained. You look at the June 12th, everybody thinks the country is going to go away. But God that made the country in 1914 together, that God is in charge, and he will remain in charge. So anybody who's thinking otherwise, they shouldn't waste his time. Nigeria come to stay as a nation. It's left for us to love our country, to show the love practically how we are going to drive it. Don't call Trump. Trump has no business in Nigeria. It's we business of Nigerians. Trump has no business in Nigeria. If you have any field of mining, give them. If you have anything, give them. But he cannot solve the problem of Nigeria. The problem of Nigeria is going to solve by Nigerians. Therefore, Chairman, let me congratulate you. When you approached me first, I didn't understand why people are going. What are you talking about? Nigeria has been suffering for so many things. But when I saw the real people, the grass people, and the way they talk, I saw the passion on their face that they mean well to this country, and I promise that I'll be part of you. And I'll remain part of you. And I'll draw government to be part of you. I was with the president yesterday night, and I told him that I'm coming to this place. And if he has time, he should watch what we're doing. He will be impressed. And I think those organizations should be given a support to continue what they are doing, because we believe they have same ambition with you. You have ambition of one Nigeria. You have ambition taking Nigeria to greater height. And you have ambition to ensure that things are equal, are good for Nigerians. So I believe those organizations, they have the same thinking. So whatever we are going to do, and you are going to do, we should do to ensure that we help this organization to ensure that they continue what they are doing. Let them go around, talk to the people. The people have no problem. Professor has finished it all. The problem is elite. And that, I don't think, because they love Nigeria more than any other person. There's somebody abusing Tinubu. You are abusing him because of what? Because of what you know. You know the problem more than the Tinubu that is there. But they are hiding before something. President is or president. That is not the issue of president. Those that are in the presidency, they know the presidency is being derived outside than inside the villa. I think my brother can attest to that. The presidency is being run outside the villa than inside the villa. We only have the president who we cage there. We lock him. But we do the operations. So why don't you think of Nigerians? Why don't you think of trust? You are given trust in one time or the other. You are getting opportunity, either a serving minister or a former governor, etc. You have that opportunity given trust by you. Why don't you think of those people that gave you that trust and do justice to them? justice to them. It's not by prioritizing the politics or your own selfish needs. It's about how do you come together and ensure that Nigeria become a greater country for every one of us. That's the practice where we're copying the system. The whole lot is going on in America. It's not all American likes it. But they only have a freedom of speech to come and talk about it. But they give their support to their own president to ensure that Nigeria, America is great. Why don't we do the same in Nigeria? For our betterment. That president, the maximum he can stay is 8 years. Next president will come. Is that how we are going to do? And to see that we are trying to see the light, we are hoping to see the light, or have a better Nigeria. If you did not give support to the leadership to ensure that things went correct, right, who am I going to give it that to? If while the president is trying to tie the boat and you're under trying to lose the boat, how could Nigeria stand? We'll continue working on autopilot. And I don't think if we do continue to do that, the God will allow us to continue. And it doesn't take him anything to replace us. Take your pen and write it. We either decide to be a good people for Nigeria or to remain what we are, and it doesn't take God a blink of eyes to replace all of us. It doesn't take him time. So, elite of Nigeria, let us know, or we knew, that we have no any other country to run but Nigeria. If you want to know that, lost your passport in any of the first-class country and see what is going to happen in the border, if you're going to be allowed. Or get in with the expired visa. You will know that this country is where you belong to. That you don't require visa. You don't require passport. You don't require anything. It's your own country. God choosing for you. Because I know I personally proud to be a Nigerian because I don't have any country to run but Nigeria. Nalgon, you have started a very huge initiative. But I believe God will be on your side and God will help you and will help this country. And Nigeria of today, by God's grace, will continue to be greater. But all we need, let us be sincere to ourselves and let us be sincere to other Nigerians that give us the trust in one way or the other. The last, all of you here, you came here to assemble for the project of One Nigeria. When we get back to our communities, inform them where we are, what is needed to be done for Nigeria to stand as a nation, to continue standing as a nation for the betterment of all of us. As ambassadors of one project, One Nigeria, at the same, when we get back to our people, the speeches powerful given by the professor, it educates us, refresh our brain on what happened before the independence, before even the colonial masters, down to the colonial era and up to the independence. In 1914, the amalgamation is not by error. God decided this country to be called Nigeria, and that God never make mistake. So if anybody is thinking otherwise, maybe the mistake is from him. Distinguished Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I will urge all of us. Today is Bola Ahmed Tinubu, tomorrow we don't know who. And each and every one of us that are there, we need the cooperation of all of us. The politics is allowed because there that people do their choices. But we shouldn't do a blind politics that may lead to divide this country. Let us speak truth to ourselves and wherever we find ourselves. By passing the false information about your own country, though I understand those that are passing that they have dual passports, but me, I have only Nigerian passports. So wherever I will speak the truth, how it is, or how I will look at it, I stand to be corrected on any issue that come up. But I have only one passport, green. Wherever I went there as a visitor, and I choose that. And I have no any other regret being that or continue to remain as that. I remain a blessing of Nigeria, and that's where I believe. So those that are having the dual passport, trying to cause problem because they have some other place to run and their family, we are here. Our families are here. We don't have anywhere to go. We are going to continue to work and pray for Nigeria and pray for any leadership in place to be successful, because that success is not for him, it's for us. Because when the leader did right things, that the multiplication of that rightness will come back to you, will come back to me. It's not for him. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for finding time to be here. And by God's grace, from time to time, we'll have this interaction so that we update ourselves where we are and where we need to go. But the most important is keeping Nigeria one and keeping Nigeria together, betterment of Nigerians. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. The chairman, One Nigeria Project, has spoken. Thank you very much. One House, please let's allow the chairman, One Nigeria Project, to return to his seat, and let us keep the House calm. We have 10-15 minutes to close this event. Please remain on your seats at this point in time. We are not going to spend more than 10-15 minutes. The very distinguished Senator Yari is going around greeting everyone, and he has returned to his seat. Please, let's give a resounding round of applause to the One Nigeria Project chair, who, like me, has only one passport, and is a green passport. He has asked that we support this project. We congratulate him. I'd like you to please remain on your seats. We have 10 minutes to 15 minutes to close this program. One of the things that we are going to do is a vote of thanks. The second thing we are going to do is a short 3 minutes performance by a young man who has been waiting. After that 3 minutes performance, there will be the vote of thanks, and then we will take pictures with those in the front row, and then we will take the national anthem. National Chairman of Nalgon, we congratulate you. What a wonderful day this has been. What a great idea you have brought forward, and this has been galvanized by all those who have come today. The executive committee, we congratulate you. the national chairman and Nalgon, for a great idea that is being driven by the chair of the One Nigeria project. We congratulate you for your idea and for keeping everybody in Nalgon together to follow through on this project. At this point in time, Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, born in Kaduna, bred in Kaduna, Zaria and Makurdi, living in Abuja and coming from Kogi State and being a human being that believes in Nigeria, I think that I embody the One Nigeria project as a citizen. I'd like at this point to quickly call on the performance by Rapiza. 3 minutes, no longer than 3 minutes. We close this event in the next 10, 15 minutes. Rapiza, where are you? Quickly, up on the stage for your performance now, and it will be no longer than 3 minutes. We'll take the vote of thanks, we take the picture, and we take the national anthem. We congratulate distinguished Senator Yari for a powerful intervention at this event as Chairman One Nigeria. Time now to bring in one of Nigeria's finest. Please help me welcome to perform Rapiza in 3 minutes.
All Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll sing this song together. It's a performance for all of us. And the chorus is very simple. If I say, oh, we are one, the response is, we are one, one Nigeria, we are one, stronger together, we are one, Hausa, Igbo, Yoruba, we are one, it is well cause I know it's possible. So let's sing together. Oh, we are one, one Nigeria, stronger together, Hausa, Igbo, Yoruba. Drop it.
Mu sa ƙarfi a zuciyarmu. Najeriya ta mu ce, mu ɗaya ne.
Ẹ já fọkàn balẹ̀, ìlú ìtí gbogbo wa ni, ìkọ̀kan ni wá.
Ka anyị dị ike edo bi anyị, obodo Nigeria bụ nke anyị, anyị bụ otu.
Hey, so let's put our hands together like this. Everybody.
Come on. Nigeria, one Nigeria. Nigeria, one Nigeria. For Nigeria, my people. Rapizo, I'm sick up on the earth. Oh, we are one. We are one. One Nigeria. We are one. Stronger together. We are one. Hausa, Igbo, Yoruba. We are one. Hey. It is well cause I know it's possible. Oh, we are one people. We are one. From north to the southwest, east. We are one Nigeria. I believe and I know it's possible. This is the only country you have. You have. You have. Do not condemn that one thing you have. Do not cause Nigeria. Together let's make Nigeria walk. So let's protect our sheep, oh. This our sheep when we get it very big, oh. Make we come together as one people. And then no matter no go let our sheep sink, oh. So we got to protect the sheep with one love. We got to protect the sheep with unity. We got to come together as one people for one purpose. We are one, one night. Everybody say, we are one, stronger together. Put your hands together like this, man. Hey, it is well cause I know it's possible. Oh, we are one people. From north to the southwest, east. We are one Nigeria. I believe and I know it's possible. So many realities in our faces. The good, the bad, the ugly are the things we face. But individual responsibilities depend on what you do for the country's stability. Ask yourself what you can do for the nation. Ask yourself your honesty for the nation. In one way or the other, let's support our leaders. So let's protect our sheep. Oh. This is our sheep when we get it very big. Oh. Make we come together as one people. And then no matter no, but let our sheep sink. Oh. So we got to protect the sheep with one love. We got to protect the sheep got to come together as one people. For one. Everybody say, we are one Nigeria. Stronger together. Hausa, Igbo, Yoruba. We are one. It is well as I know it's possible. Oh, we are one people. From north to the southwest east. We are one Nigeria. I believe and I know it's possible. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Rapiza, ladies and gentlemen, a true-born son of Nigeria. Let's give him a round of applause. We have no other nation except Nigeria. We congratulate him for that fantastic song which he has delivered to showcase One Nigeria project. Unity begins at the grassroots. United Voices, New Nigeria, One Nigeria project. Our unity is non-negotiable. Like I said at the beginning, I was born in Kaduna, raised in Kaduna and Zaria, bred in Makurdi, went to school in Zaria, lived in Lagos and Abuja, and has traveled across Nigeria. I believe in the One Nigeria project. Let me remind you that we're going to the local governments, we're going to the states, we're going to start One Nigeria program according to the Nalgon chairman and chairman One Nigeria project. We will, as One Nigeria project, be arriving at the 6 geopolitical zones, setting up this program in the states and in the local government. If you look in your program, you will find that this is going to take place. Nalgon needs all the support that it can get. This thing is not beans, it's hard work, it takes money, it takes logistics. The Nalgon chairman and his executive team and all Nalgon emeritus members cannot do this alone. They require support and they need help. We're live at the NAF Conference Center for the One Nigeria project for the official flag off of the Nalgon Emeritus One Nigeria project. One Nigeria, one destiny, unity in diversity, one nation, one people. And the chairman of One Nigeria project is the very distinguished Senator Yari. Under the aegis of the Nalgon Emeritus, he is driving this process. We thank you, sir. We thank the Nalgon chairman and his executive. It's time for me to bring up very quickly the National Secretary Nalgon, Chief Osita Ogene, to deliver the vote of thanks. Please make your way to the podium, sir. Please remember that there would be one photograph after the vote of thanks, which will be all those in the front row, and that would be standing up here to take that photograph to remember today. In the meantime, and after that, we'll take the national anthem. In the meantime, please clap for our very distinguished National Secretary.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure meeting Eugenia, boo. I want to start where I'm supposed to start. I want to thank our chairman, the chairman of One Nigeria project, who made it possible for these men from the hinterlands to be here today. Chairman, you know, you are handsome and you are doing handsome things. It's very interesting. When you see handsome people, they do very handsome things. I want to thank you for this opportunity you have given to the foot soldiers. They are the generals of the hinterland. They know what it means to talk to the people. I want also to thank our distinguished governor, Otom. These are the people who said this must be. I also wish to thank in absentia the SGF, who is the SGF who is unavoidably absent today. I'm talking about Dr. Akume, Senator, His Excellency Dr. Akume. I want to thank so many people, but especially the people who made this occasion very great, like the professor and the erudite SAN. I'm happy to meet you. You are a good asset to Nigeria. Again, I want to start again from somewhere that is below the chairman of the One Nigeria Project, the initiator of this program. I'm talking about no other person than Shaba Ibrahim, Esquire. With his team, we were able to put through this occasion. I also want to especially again thank my colleagues. Some of us were local government chairmen about 25 years ago. We were the first elected by INEC. And when we were there, they know we were there. So I want to thank you for having time, in spite of all the odds, for you to be here. I want to thank God for the journey mercies that brought you here. And we are also asking God to take you back home safely in Jesus' name. There are take-homes here. The take-home is that One Nigeria is, I know. The one important thing we shall take home by what the chairman says, that the chairman of the One Nigerian Project, His Excellency Senator Abdulaziz Yari, is that the elite must come together. We must come together because he said that we have no option. We have no option, that Nigeria must be one. So I want, when you go home, know that people like him, if he has said that, that is a statement of order. So we are going home today to tell our people that Nigeria must be one, indivisible one. So once more, I want to thank you, sir. His Excellency, His Excellency Senator Abdulaziz, former governor of Zamfara. So, Father, you are the father now. We look up to you too. Let this not be part of those things that we start and somewhere along the line it dies. Please help us to propel this thing down from to the local government. There, first of all, to, like you said, the zonal local government, the zonal headquarters, like the southeast, northeast, northwest, and all that. So that we can drive this information, this good news. It's a good news. It's a good news. Drive it home in Jesus' name. I would love to speak and talk, but unfortunately, we want to leave this place. Thank you very much for coming. And I want to thank His Excellency, the President of this country. So far, he has been doing wonderfully well. And like some of us said here, the problem of Nigeria is not going to be solved by Nigeria. It's going to be solved by Nigerians. You know? The problem of Nigerians are going to be solved by Nigerians. So, please, I want to stop here so far. Thank you, sir.
The problem of Nigeria will only be solved by Nigerians. Vote of thanks by National Secretary Nalgon, Chief Osita Ogene. I'd like Your Excellency to crave your indulgence that we have Chief Dr. Peter Ogali, former Executive Chairman of Ohuabunwe Local Government Area of Ebonyi, former member Federal House of Reps, and presently Honorable Commissioner for Power in Ebonyi State. There, my Ogo, we welcome you. This is when we take the important photograph. I'd like to call on organizers to remove this. All those in the front row will join the National Chair of Nalgon and Senator Yari for the picture. All members of the National Working Committee will also join. So we are going to take this podium away so that some people will be in the back and some people will be in the front. And once that picture is taken, the national anthem will go from here and we can all return to our homes. We congratulate the National Chairman of Nalgon, Barrister. Congratulations to you. Well done. This is the time for the photograph. Please remain seated except those that are coming for the photograph. That photograph, those in front, all the front row members, former governor of Sokoto, former governor of Benue, front row, and then all members of the National Working Committee in the back. This is the photograph of the day. Please make yourselves available for this photograph. National Working Committee members, and also all state chairmen should remain after this photograph and after this event. All state chairmen to please remain. Somebody in the executive committee would like to see you.
This is
all
Channels Television. You've been watching our live